Hi everyone, thanks for joining our webinar today, Minitab Statistical Software Capability Analysis. I'm Nur Salawati, I'm the Technical Support Specialist at Bizit Systems. Bizit Systems are independent representative Minitab for Malaysia, Singapore and Batam, Indonesia. Before we get started, a few housekeeping notes. We have a Q&A session after the presentation. So please submit any question you have and we will try to our best to answer them all if have a time. If no, I will answer afterwards by email. So we recommend viewing this webinar on your laptop or PC for the best result. So please fill out our survey before you exit the tab. This survey will help us to improve the quality of our upcoming webinar. So we record this webinar and upload to our website www.bizit.com and our YouTube channel Minitab Malaysia and Singapore. So there's no problem if you miss anything or want a review afterwards. Okay, so for those are new with a Minitab statistical software. So Minitab was developed in 1972. So today Minitab is in market for more than 15 years. So we have a few others products. Let's say we have the Minitab Connect. So Minitab Connect actually is for the data transformation and the dashboard. And then we have our flagship product is a Minitab statistical software where today we want to explore uh, more on the Minitab statistical software, but with specific topic is a capability analysis. So we have others, we call it, this one is software predictive modeler. It for the machine learning and predictive analytic. So some of algorithm inside the SPM right now available in Minitab statistical software, it will be under predictive analytic module. Okay, and then we have the Minitab models ops. It will help the business analysis and the engineer successfully implement their own machine learning and predictive models. So which is Minitab model F is, let's say you want to implement the predictive analytic, you have a dashboard. If let's say you have something want to trigger, so you will use the Minitab model ops. And then we have the Minitab workspace. Minitab workspace for the visualization tools, let's say for the continuous improvement, let's say like VSM, FMEA, and maybe you can go for the fishbone diagram, process map, and so on. So if let's say you want that kind of the template, so we'll go for the Minitab workspace. And then we have also, we call it, that one is the Minitab Engage. It will have the dashboard for the project execution, like you want to have something DMIC project, you want to have review board and something approval. So everything in the Minitab Engage. And then we have also Minitab Hub. It will rebranding from the quality trainer. For those already know about the quality trainer, now we're rebranding like we call education hub. So in the education hub is something like learning. Okay, it's an online learning, and then a content a few topic like DOE, design experiment. For the statistical quality control, we have the predictive and analytic also, and then we have the something like definition of statistic, hypothesis testing, all are included in education hub. And then we have also real-time SPC. It's something like continuity from the Minitab statistical software. Maybe you want to have advanced features. Let's say you want to trigger something out of control in your control chart. So a real-time SPC will have kind of the features. You can email directly and so on. Okay. So if let's say you want more on this, so let we let we, know. So we'll feel free to show you the demo or give some information on for all this product. Okay. So this one is here is some tools are available in a Minitab Statistical software itself. For example, for those are coming for the quality side, we have the something like MSA. I think MSA we already cover during the webinar on February, I think is something that one. And then last month we cover for the control chart. On this month we cover for the capability analysis. But for the assistance sampling and the tolerance, we not include in our webinar session for every month. Okay, and then we have something like reliability engineering, also available in Minitab Statistical software. And then we also have for process development, let's say you want to do the DOE. So for this, our new DOE here is not only you can analyze, but we provide from you want to create the worksheet. For example, you want to create the full factorial design, 2 power of 2, 2 power of 5, or so on. Or maybe you want to something like half fractional and so on. So we available in the Minitab Statistical software for the under DOE. Okay, and then we have something like analytic. Okay, now this all about talk about the analytics, business analytic, predictive analytic, or something like you already move from the traditional manufacturer, go for the 4.0 industry and so on. So we have a thing that you have a lot of data uh, in your site right now. So maybe you can need go for the advanced algorithm, something like one. So we have that kind of the statistical model. Let's say we have the card. Okay, we have a classification and regression tree. We also have something like time series analytic, or something like time series. I think next month we cover for the time series for those who are interested with the time series. So hopefully you can join us for the next month. And then we have something like a lot of type of the visualization before you go further for the predictive analytic or something, analytic project or so on. Okay, and then we have something like process validation for those are already use this one for the process design, in the process qualification, and then we have the continue process validation. Just for information, the sequence of these tools is not like in this sequence, but you can able to see all the tools available in the process validation in Minitab Statistical software. Okay, so of course we have complete tool for the analysis. So our customer coming from various of sector, including manufacturing staff, we have academician, we have the services and so on. So not the only specific, okay, it's for Minitab it will be specific for the automotive. No, we have a cover of various of the company. Okay, it's not the only the big company. We have a SME company also use the Minitab for their process. Okay. So for today agenda, we focus on I think not all the more comprehensive compared to our training. I just want to, for those who already know about the capability analysis, maybe this time for refresh again. Okay, for those are new with us, okay, so maybe again some idea how to use the Minitab Statistical software for the capability analysis. And then today we want to cover of everything about the capability analysis versus the capability spec. What you can find more on the capability analysis, and then maybe when you want to use the capability analysis, when to use the capability spec. And then maybe I will go for the capability for the non-normal data set. And then we have the features or the alternative way to get the capability analysis in the Minitab Statistical software. Hopefully we can achieve all this agenda for 1 hour. Okay. So as a as a business, or maybe you are professional like engineer or something, manager or something, that one is related to the company. Of course, our focus want to gain the maximum profit. So maybe the first step to make sure our process should be the stable. So is talk about the stability. I think last month, if let's say you already join our last month webinar, I already explained about the stability, how to measure the stability and so on, okay, using the control chart. But once your process is stable, so you need go for the other stages. We call it, that one is something like, maybe you can want to see on the capability analysis itself to see whether is your process itself capable to consistent producing the product meets your customer standard. You have your own process, and then now you want to compare with your vision, your spec limit, so something that one. So we call it, that one is a capability analysis. Or maybe sometime we see on this you see this diagram. Okay, it's a simple one. It's a histogram. Histogram is something like we already learned in the, I think it's a secondary school, already learned about the histogram. So today we want to compare, okay, our process with our specification limit. So in the capability analysis, actually, we want to evaluate how well our process meets a set of requirements defined by specification limit. So when your process is centered, okay, when your process is centered, and then within the spec limit, so it more capable, consistently produce the product that meets customer expectation. So I think, of course, if let's say you ask all the engineer, so do you want to see on this side? Okay, it's a capable, it's a center, and then within the spec limit, but the actual part, maybe the relative part, you will see the not capable, which is all maybe most of your, maybe 5% outside out of your product, it will be out of spec. So maybe it will consider that one is not capable inside there. So you want to compare what you have with your what you planning. Okay, so that one is, we call it the capability analysis. Or maybe sometimes you just know about the CP, CPK, also is will refer to the capability analysis. Okay, so before we go further, this information, it must be clear. That one is a control chart versus the specification limit. Its control chart is from your process. So without the process happen, you cannot have a control limit. But for the spec limit, we have, before your process is not happen yet, you already have your spec limit. So the spec limit maybe is one from your customer itself, okay, from your designer. So we have you already have that one. For the control limit, we have the UCL, SCL is upper control limit, and then we have the lower control limit. And then for the spec limit is, we have the upper spec limit and the lower spec limit. It will different, okay? So the theme here is, we want to show that it will different. Control limit is from your process. So if let's say your process is not happened yet, so mean to say that you doesn't have a control limit. Okay, but if let's say you already have your own vision, your own objective, that one is, we call it, can be you already have your specification limit. Okay, so if let's say you want to see on the visualization, so we try with this visualization is your bell shape. Okay, so you have the lower spec limit, you have the upper spec limit, and then you have your own target here, and then maybe here is your control limit. Okay, and then so when you want to use the capability analysis, so maybe you want to have the new process equipment coming. Okay, and maybe before approving installation equipment for the production use, maybe for your ongoing basis to verify the continuity capability, or maybe when you have identify out of specification limit are found. So you will use the capability analysis. Okay, so maybe why we need use the capability analysis? I think most of our customers start their journey for the control continuity project, let's say for PDCA project, for FMME project or something, that one all is start with the capability analysis. When your CPCPK is not capable, when you cannot achieve 1.23, more than 1.23, so you trigger something, so you came back to the control chart and then so on. So maybe this time want to assess the process behavior. Okay, so you want to see is it our process is stable or not stable, predictable or not predictable, or maybe you want to see the both. Okay, the process actual performance to the specification limit to the produce the within your spec limit in the future. So you have your own process compare with your design. Okay, or you want to determine how many spec part that the process is likely to produce. Okay, so maybe you want to see the ppm, TPM, and so on. So that one is why we use the capability analysis. Okay, but I think most of us start our journey to continuous improvement start with the when you cannot achieve your 1.33. Your CPCPK is not 1.33. Okay, so we have many type of the capability analysis available in Minitab. Okay, so I think we go for the Minitab side. Okay, I open the Minitab. Okay, so once you open the Minitab, you will see the in the start menu. Okay, in the start menu, you go for the quality tools, and then you can see the capability analysis, and then we have capability spec. So we have many ways to get the CPCPK value on this part. Okay, for example, for the capability analysis, actually we have normal, we have non-normal, we have multiple variables, normal, non-normal, we have binomial, we have the Poisson. Okay, and then for the six pack also we have normal, we have between within, and then we have a non-normal. Okay, for those I already know about this. Okay, maybe after this you want to have the two, so you can directly use the multiple variables normal. Okay, we have this one. You want to compare machine A and machine B before and after, something like that one. So you will use directly for multiple variables. Okay, this one is a binomial. It's something like your output is not some measurement. Okay, it's a event. Okay, so you will go for the binomial or the Poisson. Okay, and then we have the six pack on this one. Okay, so we have many ways to get the capability analysis in Minitab statistical software. Okay, so we go back to the this part. Okay. So, okay, so this one is an interesting part. Okay, okay, so capability analysis is a part of the statistical technique. So capability analysis have some assumption before you rely that CPK 2.0, CPK 1.6 or something that one. So you must have this assumption, fulfill this assumption before you rely on the CP, CPK value or PP and PPK value. The first thing you need must be your process is stable over the time. So how to know is it stable or not stable? You need to back to your control chart. Okay, so you need to have your control chart to see is stability or predictable your process. So you need to back to your control chart. And then the second part, you must have assuming your distribution fit. Okay, for this case, not only normal distribution, maybe you have other distribution, you must have something assuming about the distribution. Is it if a normal or a lung or something like bull or something that others, okay, it's a maybe is something not usual you use, okay, but we need to have a your distribution. So some like us, we have our name. Okay, I'm no Sulawati. So the process is must be something that, okay, the distribution you see, you easy to see the characteristic. Okay, so for the characteristic of distribution, it will look on the mean, mode, okay, median, something, standard deviation. So it only be characteristic for your process. Okay, so for this one is we follow analogy for the distribution. So characteristic of human, maybe be a bigger one, a smaller one, is something that one. So for distribution, you must have a something process must have a identification. So for this case, we need to have your distribution. Okay, so we have to, for the first, stability, and then the second part, you must clear or identify your process have a distribution before you rely on the CP/CPK value. So all these assumptions are available in the Minitab Statistical software. Okay. Okay, so for this case, I have one case study here. Okay, so this engineer used the fogging process to make the piston ring. Okay, the quality engineer wants to assess the process capability. So they collect the 25 group. So every time they collect 5 piston rings, and then their spec limit is about 74 plus minus 0.05 millimeters. So I will open the Minitab project file. Okay, so for this case, okay, we open the Minitab. So for this case, maybe you want to go figure. Okay, so you just go this view. Okay, you just want to see on the data set only. Okay, so you just go for the view. Maybe I will go bigger. So every time they take it 5. Okay, another time, maybe this one 8 a.m. Okay, another 10 a.m. another 5. So that one is every time they have a subgroup 5. Okay, so how to get it this one? Okay, how to check? Is it stable or not stable? So you need to go back to the control chart. So you go for the stat, go for the control chart. So it will group, subgroup. So every time keep 5. So go as bar R. Okay. So for this case, is your diameter. Is a 5. And then you click OK. So now you will get the control chart. So based on this control chart, so not any point outside the control limit. Okay, 3 sigma here or 6 sigma here, and then not any pattern inside this one. So we consider the process is stable state. Okay, the process is stable state. And then maybe, okay, maybe another assumption you want to see on this one. So you want to see, is a non-normal or not normal? Okay, so how to get it? So you go for the start, go for the basic statistic, you go for the normality test. Okay, so for this one is a diameter. So basically we use the Adamson-Darling, but if let's say you have your own reference, okay, so maybe you want to using the Ryan joint, okay, easy, can, okay, so you can choose, or maybe you are always using the Kolmogorov, so you can choose this one. So for this one, I just proceed with the default Adamson-Darling, and you click OK. So now you will get the PP plot here. Okay, so based on the P value here, okay, the P value here is bigger than 0.05. So we consider that this process is the fit with normal distribution. Okay, we consider this process, okay, the diameter ring process, it will have the normal distribution for this case. Okay, so once you already have this one, okay, your stability, you have your normal distribution. So now time, go to the start, go to the quality tools, go to the, maybe I go for the capability analysis. So I click normal, and then I choose for the diameter. Here is a 5. Okay, for the lowest spec, you already have this one. Okay, and then we have the 24. Okay, and then you click OK. Now you will get the capability analysis. Now you will get the PPP, PPK, PPL, PPU, CPM, and then we have the CP, CPL, CPU, CPK. So everything you have this one. Okay. So I will go back to the slide back. Okay, I will go back to this one. Okay, so we already have this one. You already fit. you already have this. I already show how to run the capability analysis, but before we go further, capability in term technical part, we call it that one is the capability indexes. So indexes here is a ratio, okay, of the process speed and the specification speed. So they are unitless values so that you can use them to compare the capability of different process. So for those I already know, that one is a CP, I think PP and PPK, but we have the others indices. So let's say sigma level, 1 sigma, 2 sigma. Okay, we have DPMU. Okay, we have defect per unit, defect per opportunities. We have the PPM. Okay, so we have number of non-conforming part in your process. So for those are not use the CP, they will use the sigma level. Okay, so we have a lot type of the capability indexes to show the value for the capability. Is it your process is capable or not capable? Okay, it will depends on you. Okay, but by the default in Minitab, we trigger for the potential reading or CP, CPK, and then we have the PP and PPK. Okay, if let's say you don't want, I will show after this how you want to convert or you want to show the sigma level instead of using the CP and CPK. Okay. And then here is something like guidelines, okay? Guideline to show is it is capable or not capable. Okay, so let's say you have a CPKU below 1, so we consider that that one is not capable. Okay, if let's say 1 is marginally capable, but let's say you have a 1.23 is a capable. Is let's say you have a more than 2, so highly capable on this case. Okay, and then we have the PP and PPK also. We have considered this an overall capability. So if let's say you have a PPPK is same as just now, is CPCPK below 1 is not capable, 1.30 is capable, more than 2 is highly capable. Okay, and then we have this one. Okay, I just give information. What is the differences between CP and CPK, PP and PPK. Okay, it will call it in term technical part, we call it the potential within capability, and then process performance, or we call it overall capability. Okay, so let's say for the CPCPK is something like we have a short term. Okay, we have for the PP and PPK, we have the long term. Short term and long term here is we refer to the how many data set you have. Okay, so it's smaller, maybe you can go or look on the CPCPK, or maybe you can just have the CP and CPK. If let's say you're a big data set, okay, you can go for the PP and PPK. Okay, so that's why for the CPCPK is show for the subgrouping. Okay, and then for the PP and PPK, you hold the whole process itself. Okay, but if let's say your data is a normal data set, so you just only have the CP, you can calculate the CP-CPK, okay? But for the PPPK, if let's say your data set is non-normal distribution, let's say you have the variable distribution, so you will get the PP and PPK value, okay? So this one is the differences between potential within and then the overall capability, CP, CPK, PP, and PPK. Okay, so this case. So we try back to the Minitab statistical software. Okay, just now I will show this one. Okay, how to get it? Go to stat. Okay, how to get? Go to stat. Go to quality tools. Go for the capability analysis. Just use the normal. Okay, and then you can get the. Sorry, go back to this one. Okay, so your diameter, your subgroup, and then you will get the CP, your lower spec, your upper spec, and then you click OK, so you will get the capability analysis. So based on this one, you want to see the CP, CPK. Okay, your here is overall capability, here is your within capability. So based on this PP and PPK value, CP and CPK value is more than 1.3, we consider is the process is capable. And then you can go for the visualization here. Okay, so because we don't want to have the center limit, Okay, you don't have your target. Okay, and then here you can see that is in this limit. Okay, in this limit. So that's why that one is the highest. Maybe it will have the more than 1.23. Okay, if let's say you have flat, okay, is your bell shape is flat. Okay, so above this limit, okay, you will see the ppm CPK will be less than 1.33. Okay, so you see on this one, and then we are also of the ppm. Okay, so for those are not looking on the CPK, PPK, you use the sigma level, so you will get in the Minitab. So you go back to the dialog box. Okay, you go for the option. Okay, you go for the option, you just put on the benchmark Z, your sigma level. Okay, and then you click OK, and then you click OK. So you will see here now is the sigma level. Okay, so we do go back to the dialog box, go to the option. Okay, in option, actually you will see on the sigma level here. Click here and then you click, you will see the sigma level. For this one is by the default one, your CP, CPK, your PP and PPK. But for those use the sigma level, you will get this sigma level on this part. Okay, and then you have the ppm. Just now we show we have the CP, CPK, PPPK, we have the sigma level. Okay, we have the DPU, DPM. Okay, we have ppm. So all these things, you can get this in option. Okay, you will get in option here. Okay, so this one in one way. Second way, okay, second way, we go back to the start, go back to quality tools, go back to the six pack. Okay, capability six pack. I choose the normal. Okay, so for this case, it's a diameter, it's a 5. Okay, we have the lower spec. Okay, we have the lower spec here. Okay. Okay, and then I click OK. Okay, so now you will see on this one, okay, the differences between in the capability analysis and then capability six pack. In the six pack, actually, you are provide the stability is your control chart. Okay, control chart will appear based on your subgroup size. Let's say your subgroup size 1, your control chart will be the IMR. It will automated. Okay, Minitab will trigger automatically on this part. And then you have the normal distribution. So for those want to submit your report, okay, without want to use the control chart, so you can go for the capability six pack. Six pack means that six picture. Okay, six pack is here, is six picture here. Okay, for those who don't want see, okay, your control chart, show your control chart, so you wish you use the capability analysis on this part. Okay, so we have a two way, whether you want to use this six pack. In the six pack, you will provide the control chart, which is you want can know your stability part, and then your normality probability plot. Okay, your PPP plot on this part. But for this one is without this assumption. Okay, so we can see on both this one. All this one in the start menu. Go for the start, go for the quality tools, go to the analysis, capability analysis, normal, or capability six pack. So you will see on this one. Okay, so the same, let's say you don't want to see the CPCPK value, that one, you can go back to this one, you go for the option. So you can change to the Z sigma, click OK, and then click OK. So you will see the sigma level here instead of the CP and CPK here. Okay, so you will get on this part. Okay. Okay, and then others, I think a lot of query now, they want to see on the CCPK. Okay, so how to get it, we get in the Minitab Statistical software, but that one is a go to file, you can go for the option. Okay, so you go for the quality tools, and then you can go for the capability and spec. So you will see the CCPK. Okay, I'm not sure. Is it maybe it's requirement from the audit purpose or something standard you use? Okay, you want to see on the CCPK. So once you click here and they click OK, and then you can run. Okay, you will get the CCPK here in the capability analysis. Okay, so for those want to see, I think lately a lot of customer request on this part, how to get it the CCPK. Okay. Okay. So I will go next. Okay. So hopefully you are clear about this, how to get it, the capability analysis, why difference, and when you want to use these differences, part or analysis. Okay, it will depend on you. Okay, so fully done it. Okay, so this one is I will try compare is the capability analysis versus the capability spec. So in the capability analysis, what you can see in the capability spec, what you can see of. Okay. This one is we go for the next session is for non-normal data set. The one is have a lot of argument on this. Okay, but in the Minitab Statistical software, we have two approaching to get the capability analysis. One, your data is not non-normal data set. Okay, when you face with the non-normal data set, I think the reality part, a lot of us face it with this kind of the data set. It's a non-normal data set. Okay, so the first approach is you can select the non-normal distribution or you fit your distribution and then you analyze with the traditional, like just now I use it. Okay, just you choose the non-normal distribution. Okay, just now I showed that capability analysis and then I choose the normal since my data is a normal. Now, this approach, when you fit your distribution, let's say you fit your with the Wilbur distribution. So you can proceed with the non-normal distribution with the Wilbur distribution. Or another approach, maybe, okay, you can go for the transformation of your data set. From the non-normal, you transform PR, your data now is a normal distribution. Okay, so we have two approach. That one is depends on your situation. Okay, for those don't want see the something manipulation in your data set, maybe you can go for the non-normal distribution. Okay, but maybe we have something like problem. That one is what is Weibo. Okay, what is the extreme large distribution? So you need to have the idea how to explain it. If let's say they want know about the distribution itself. Okay, and then maybe for those already know about this transformation. Okay, transformation is something like it's not the thing is something like it's a simple one. You want to standardize your process, your measurement, your data set. Maybe you can go for the simplest transformation. Okay, let's say you can go for the inverse. Okay, maybe you can go for the power of 2. Okay, you want to, or maybe you can go for the log. Okay, log 10. Okay, or the standardized. Okay, but in the Minitab Statistical software, we have a two type of transformation. Okay, we go after this. Okay, so this case, okay, this case we have the second case study here. Okay, so maybe you will face this situation. Okay, so you will face this question. Okay, the engineer wants to assess the capability and then randomly sample 100 packages. So they record the weight. Okay, now the weight just now is a diameter. It's continuous. Okay, it's continuous data set. With the specification range, it will be this range is 31 plus minus 4 ounce. Okay, the engineer wants to know the distribution of weight is the largest extremely value distribution. So now this case, the engineer, okay, the manufacturer already know this is the extreme, largest extreme distribution, not the non-normal distribution. So for this case, you can go back to the Minitab. I think I'll say open the Minitab. Okay. I open the Minitab and then go back to this view, and then I want to see the another case study here. Is the packing weight. Okay, so every time they're taking only one sample. Okay, 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m. maybe. Okay, or maybe 30 minutes, another 30 minutes, another 30 minutes. So they take it only one. So now your subgroup size is a 1. Okay, so for this case, they already know this one is not normal distribution. Okay, so maybe you can go for the start, go for the quality tools, but you go for the capability analysis, and then you will choose the non-normal. Okay, so for this case, it's a packing weight. The distribution here is the dimension here is the largest extreme value. Okay, for this case is 29. Okay, this one is the 35. And then you click OK. So you will see this one. Okay, so you just only have the PP and PPK value. So based on this PP and PPK value is less than 1/3. So we consider this process is not capable. But for this case is the larger extreme value distribution model. It's not normal distribution. Okay, so for those how to get the largest extreme value. Okay, we have that function in Minitab. So how to get it? I go to the stat, go to quality tools. So you choose here. It's individual distribution identification. Okay, so you go this one. For this one is something packaging weight. Okay, for subgroup size only one. Every time you take it one. So maybe you want to choose all the distribution and then the transformation. Okay, so you click OK. So you will see on this part. Okay, you have the PP plot for every fit. Just now in the Minitab, I think currently we have 41 type of distribution available. Okay, so you can see on this P, and then maybe you can go directly on this P value. So for those are more than 0.05, we consider that will fit on the distribution. But just only highlight here, instead you using the 3 parameter, you just only use the 2 parameter, easy to explain it. Okay, so maybe the similar, or maybe most of our researcher or our user use the wheelbarrow instead of the when your data is not fit with the normal, since the wheelbarrow is like similar with the normal distribution. Okay, but it's never mind. You just see on this one. For this case, you can see it's a more than 0.05. So that's why it's the largest extreme value fit with this data set. Okay, or maybe you can go back to this one. Okay, so for the straight line, okay, you can see on the straight line. So we consider that one will be the fit distribution on that. Okay, you consider this straight line. Okay, or you can go back to this one. Okay, so the first method. The second method, okay, maybe you want use the transformation. Okay, that one is a transformation. Okay, so I go back to this one. Okay, transformation method. Okay, the phase one. Okay, so this, okay, transformation. Okay, so in Minitab currently, we offer 2 types of the transformation. The first type is a box scope. And then the second type is a Johnson. Box scope is easy to understand and provide both reading, subgroup, and overall capability. Box scope is easy, something like you can log base 10, or maybe you can go for the square root, maybe you can inverse. And then for the Johnson, it's very powerful and it can be used with the data including 0 and negative value, but it will be more complicated. And then it only provide overall capability statistic. So it will have something advantages when you're using the box score, disadvantages when you're using this box score. So you Johnson, so you must be a clear part on this. Okay, when you want to using the box score, when you want to using the Johnson transformation. So all that one is we consider is a transformation. Okay, so we try with the something simple one is a box score first. Okay, is a box score. How to get it? I go back to the Minitab. Okay, I go back to the Minitab back. Okay, I will use the same. Okay, I will use the same. Okay, we use the same. So go back to the stat, go back to the quality tools, go back to the capability analysis. Maybe you use the normal, okay? But now you choose the transform. Okay, sorry, this one. Okay, so for this case, I choose this one, only 129, 35. Okay, so you choose the transform. Go to the transform. So I choose for the box scope. So you can see this one is the optimal lambda. So the loan, okay, just now I showed it. So the square root, okay, and then the other something like you have the value between this one. Okay, you try with the box scope and click OK, and then you click OK. So you will get the capability in terms of the transformation. Okay, but because I go back to this one. Okay, I just put in this. Okay, click OK, and then click OK. So now you will see the CP and CPK, but this value is coming from the transformation. It's not the actual value. Okay, so you can see that here, it's not the actual value between this one. Okay, this. So you can see your package is the something like 31.05, but here is a value is 0.00075. That one is a transformation. Okay, whether you can use this one is we use the what's called transformation. Okay, with the lambda is a -4. So that one is not represent the actual data set. It's transformation. But this side, okay, this side, it will see the actual part of the value, but will fit the distribution, not the normal distribution. Okay, so you have to choose it whether you want to use the transformation or you want to fit with the distribution when you fetch it with the non-normal ET data set. Okay, so we have a two type of the distribution. Two type of approaching when you face it with the non-normal distribution. So everything it will available in Minitab Statistical software, just only in different value. So for example, you want to identify, so you can go for the stat, go for the quality tools, go for the individual distribution identification. If let's say you already know your distribution, so you can proceed with the capability analysis or capability spec. It will depend on you. You want to see the assumption directly, so you will go for the spec. Without that, you can go for the capability analysis. Okay, and then we have an additional part. Okay, when you want to, it's more simplest. Okay, more simplest. Maybe we use an assistant. Okay, so go for the assistant, and you can see that we have the capability analysis. Okay, and assistant, just overview for the assistant. Not all the in the start menu we available in the assistant. Assistant just only most frequent our customer use, so we convert into the assistant. So maybe the result will be slightly different based on the type of the tools and then everything we mention why this happened. Okay, you will get why they happen, why different between the start menu. But I think if let's say the first time, okay, maybe you're not expert on the data analysis, it will have more on this assistant. Okay, so you go for the assistant capability analysis. Okay, and then this one is continuous. Okay, your weight, your diameter here is a snap clump plate. Okay, your data is the meter, constant is a 5. Your lowest spec is a 73.95. Okay, here equals 0.05. And then you click OK. Okay, so you will see on this capability analysis using the assistant. So you have the summary report, you have the diagnostics report, and then you have the performance report, and then you have the report card. Okay, it will be different. Just now I will show on this one. Okay. So in this one, okay, in this from the capability assistant menu, this one is from the stat menu. Okay, it will different just only graphical. Okay, your for report purpose. Okay, so for this case, you have this one is a capable. So it's a highly capable. You have the characteristic here, and then you have this diagnostic report. Okay, if let's say you go for the six pack, you have the control chart and then normality side here. And then you have the performance here. It's the same just now on this one. Okay. So maybe we have a different is our spec, okay, percentage, this one. So they will have, for this case, you don't want the C on this. Okay. So you have this and then we have the report card. If I get something like it's a good for your reference. Okay, we have something like idea for the next analysis or something like assumption you need to fulfill for this kind of the analysis. Okay, so this one is the from the assistant. This one is from the step menu. Okay, so I have something trigger. Okay, the simple one. That one is just only for before you go further, you just want to know, okay, it's a easy right click, okay, right click, you go for the conditional formatting, you go for the statistical, you see out of control for control chart. So you just go for the out of control. So for this case is we have a 5, okay, and then you click okay. So if let's say have a out of control, will appear on the red color here. Okay, for this case, just now we show on this one without any. So that's why you go for this pattern. Okay, you check with the conditional formatting, it's not available in this case. Okay, so if let's say you want to see the spec, so right click, okay, right click, go for the format, conditional formatting, go for the statistical, you choose for out or specification limit. So but you need to must include the spec limit here. So for this case, it's 3.50. This one is the 0. Okay, and then maybe you want to go for other style, so you can choose on this one. I just proceed with the report only, and then click okay. So if let's say half, they will appear on the red color here. So we have just only trick and tips. Okay, just only want to overview or hold the picture, but you want to see on the graphical, so you need to back to the step menu. Okay, it's the simple approaching to get know before you go further on this case. Okay. There's only many ways to get the capability analysis in the Minitab Statistical software. Okay, so I go back to the slide. Okay, hopefully I think I will cover all this. Okay, so already done it. Okay, so if let's say you have a question, so let's type into the Q&A session or chat box. Okay. Or you can email me after this at noor.sulawati@bizit.com. Okay, regarding the technical part in the Minitab Statistical software, not only on this one. Okay. Okay, so we have question here. Okay, I can share this slide. So you please drop your email in the chat box. So we send to you after this webinar. Okay, so here we have a question. Why we choose the largest extreme value? Okay, based on the P just now. Okay, we go back to this one. Okay. It will depends. This one is, it will depends on you as a researcher. Okay, I just give the guideline only. Okay, so for this case, you go back to distribution. So maybe, okay, you can go for this P more than 0.05. So you can see on this one. Okay, this one is this one is transformation. It's not the fit distribution. Okay, this one is a log normal. Okay, maybe log normal is a more than 0.05. Okay, you can proceed with the log normal, but you can go back to this log normal. Okay, is a straight line. Okay, if let's say straight line, you can see in your true eyes is okay, so you can proceed with the log normal. Or maybe you can go for the others. Okay, for this case, we try with the largest extreme value. For this case, they already have their own based on the historical data. Okay, so that's why they mention about the largest extreme value. So for this case, to identify the fit distribution, it will depend on your SME also, your subject matter expert. Okay, based on your historical data, based your own SME, and then maybe you have your own reference how to justify your distribution. Okay, but for the non-normal distribution, you're not able to get the CP, CPK value. You just only have the PP and PPK value. Okay, for the other thing, okay, this one is important, I think. A lot of argument on this. Not argument, it's a request. How they want to know what the formula Minitab use. Okay, compare they use the traditional or manual calculation, it will be different. Okay, so easy. After you run, right click on this. Okay, you can go for the help button. Okay, you want to verify the formula Minitab use for the CP CPK value. Okay, so you just go for that help. Okay. Okay, you can go for the method. Okay, method and formulas. For example, you want to see on the CP, CPK value. Okay, so how Minitab calculate the CP, CPK. Okay, how to Minitab calculate the CP, CPK. Okay, you want to see on this one. So Minitab appear all the formula on this one. So for example, you want to calculate manual and then you will compare with this Minitab, so easy. But okay, the other things is regarding the decimal point. Okay, something like decimal point. Okay, so for this case, you just only go back to this, okay, decimal point. Okay, maybe you have this part, okay, 0.05, 0.035, 0.00 is about the decimal point. You just go for this one, right click, you go for the format columns, okay, pick the decimal point, how many decimal you want, okay, or maybe easy to see here, go back to the stack, go back to the quality tools, go back to capability analysis, go back to the normal, maybe you can go for the store, okay, sorry, but okay, so that meter here. Okay, I go back to this one. Packaging, okay, diameter. Here is a 5, okay. Here maybe you can go for the storage. Okay, you can store the value not in the output, okay. It will be appear on the data set worksheet. Okay, you can store here. Okay, so for example here maybe you want to store in the else no, maybe you can store the CPK. Click OK. And here is something like 73.095. Okay, here is 74.05. Then click OK. You see here in this worksheet, not in this one. We have this, okay, but maybe you want to compare or you want to use this value or you want to manipulate on this value. So you can storage the value, the CP, CPK value or the everything in this worksheet. So here, maybe you can go for this one back, format columns, fix the side decimal point. Maybe you want to more decimal point or maybe you want to see on the last decimal point, okay? So this one, okay? So I think a lot of requests on this case. Why our manual calculation is not the same with the Minitab. Okay, so just now I will show you need to check the formula. Okay, and then maybe you can go back to your data set. You check your decimal point, your fixed decimal point, you store it, and then you can get this one. Okay. Okay, hopefully answer this question. I think we have others question. Okay. We have others question. I will email to you after this. Okay. So for this case, okay. So I will email after this. Okay, I will answer by the email. Okay. Okay, this one is a good question. Okay, can we add the Nelson rules in the six-pack control chart? No. Okay, six-pack not. Okay. So for this case, no. Okay. You need to go back to the control chart. Okay, you need to go back to the control chart. Okay, not yet. Maybe the other version will be this one. Okay. Okay, this one is a good question also. Okay, how many data required? Okay, based on the AIG standard, that one is at least you need to have the 100 data set to see, to calculate the CP, PP and PPK, at least 100. Okay, it will be based on the AIG standard. So for those are using the AIG standard, maybe they already know about this. Okay. Okay, we go to this one. Okay. So the other question I will email after this. Okay. So if let's say after this you have a question about the Minitab technical part, so you can email me noor.sulawati@bizit.com. Okay. And then we already put, okay, so that today is not the comprehensive, okay, just only capability analysis. For those who are not joining the control chart last month, so I think if highly recommend to join our comprehensive training. Okay, instead for the today, I just only show the tip and tips only. I not sure when to use this distribution. So maybe something that one you looking, so you need to go for our comprehensive training. It's a Minitab level 2. It's a statistical quality analysis. Okay, for those want to see acceptance sampling, okay, we're not covering the webinar session, so you need go for the Minitab training. Okay, so we also had advanced, like say, yeah, we not cover for the between video analysis for today session. So just only one group, say not bidding within. So you look on this one, so you need to go for this our training. Okay, so if let's say you will go more on this one, you can scan barcode here, and then you will see more information on this case. Okay. Okay, so thank you for your time and attention. So to learn more about the Minitab, please contact us by visit our website www.bizit.com or email to us to minitab@bizit.com or sales@bizit.com. So to get tips and tricks on our Minitab product, please follow us through media social like Facebook and link at Minitab Malaysia and Singapore. So to access back our previous webinar for today, maybe in it. Yes, tomorrow we upload on this our YouTube channel, Minitab Malaysia and Singapore. And I really appreciate if you can fill out our survey in order to enhance our webinar session. So see you next time with the different topic, and happy learning.